What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, my beautiful people? Here's Samuel Innocent coming at you again with this week's YouTube video. Today we're going to talk about the first in the three-part series, gerrymandering. Who is Jerry and why the does he love these oranges? No, gerrymandering, not gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is a particular cutting of a district to fit a particular group of people, right? So let's say we have this macaroon here, right? Everybody loves a little cake. If I were to gerrymander this is how I'd cut it. The even way to cut it is in 4 pieces. Boom, boom, quarters. Everybody gets a little piece, everybody gets a little fruit. We're all good. When you cut it down the middle, and you take out the best part, leave it to the side, that's gerrymandering, right? So what you have is you have a particular set of people in an area that's cut apart from the rest of the neighborhood, right? Okay, so here in our second example of gerrymandering, we have a basic map. Let's call this rectangle a neighborhood, right? We got our neighborhood split into, let's call it these 6 small blocks. And in these blocks, we have dots. These dots represent families. We'll call them the blacks, right? These are the black dots, and they're spread out throughout this neighborhood. We're going to call this neighborhood Brownsville. So we have these black dots spread throughout Brownsville, and then, you know, we got to mix it up a little bit. So now we have these green dots. These green dots, we'll call them the greens. So now we have the blacks and the greens mixed up all throughout Brownsville. Now, as you can see, some of them live in the same, let's call it each square a district. Now we have these red dots. So now you have a mix of black, red, and green all in one district. If they have a dispute or something that they'd like to get solved, they all have to work together, right? They're not all the same. They don't all agree on the same things. They all have to work together within this small box in order to get things done. Gerrymandering is when we begin to erase these lines and draw them as we wish. So now we'll go ahead and take some of these lines away, right? And as we take these lines away, look what begins to happen. Now you have a mix of, again, blacks, reds, and greens. Now, if I were to represent, let's call it the greens, I want as many greens in one area as I can get it. Why? So it's easy for me to win elections and to keep winning, right? Because if you're in a green neighborhood and you're surrounded by nothing but green dots, are you ever going to vote for a red dot who wants to represent you? Nope. You're going to keep it green. This is why it's easy for elected officials to win races again and again and again, because they represent one particular group of people with one particular mindset that would not vote for anyone else outside of that mindset. Right? And the same thing goes for the blacks. Now we're going to gerrymander the black dot neighborhood. Now we can't get all of the black dots. We're just looking to get a majority of the black dots in this one district. This is what happens when elected officials gerrymander a district. And the same goes to the reds. We don't have to get all the red dots. This case we'll get all of them, right? But as long as we get a majority of them, enough to win this seat over and over again without having to actually try, we've successfully gerrymandered the district. And this is gerrymandering and why it's so important for us to begin to erase these lines. Now, keep in mind, this is a simple explanation of gerrymandering and how it affects our neighborhoods. Stay tuned to the channel and we'll get deeper as time goes on. So why is gerrymandering so important, and why does it matter to people like you and I in Brownsville? Gerrymandering is important because of this. It's literally the difference of whose streets get paved first when it's snowing outside, how often your garbage gets picked up, right, on time and on a weekly schedule. It's the difference between your neighborhood park looking like Central Park or a Brownsville park. This is why gerrymandering is so important, because it decides what districts get money and how they get money. And it's important to all of us. How can we stop gerrymandering? It's all about your local officials. You got to get out there, you got to vote, you got to let people know, hey, we're here and we need to be heard. Thanks for tuning in. And in the comments below, let me know how gerrymandering affects you and what do you think we should look into next. Hit the like button, subscribe, and tune in next week for our next video in this series titled Gentrification.